松雀。
嗨，
What are you so
咱还
down
开开心心
for?
的，你这么低落
Look
干
at
嘛？
how cheerful I
作为说
am.
故事的人， 咱
As a
可以向你保
teller
证，
of the tale,
女
I can
孩
assure you that
已
the
经
girl
找到
has
了她的
found the
答案。
answer which once eluded her.
就算没有舞台和公主
There are
裙，
people willing to come
也
and
有人
see
愿意为了
her
见她而
even
来。
without a stage and a
所
dress.
以出于感动，
And so she
以及安
asked
慰
me
纪
to
念，
give her friend
这
a
个女孩
parting
拜托
gift
咱，
out of
想让咱把
heartfelt
与公主裙
gratitude,
相称的皇
a
冠献给
crown
她的
that
朋友，
matched the
作为
princess
临别
dress
的
she
礼物。
wore.
不知道
I don't
还愿不愿意收
know
下？
if her friend is willing to accept
这
it.
太珍贵了。
This is far
你
too
要是不
valuable,
收，咱
I.
这桩生意可就黄
If you
了
don't
呀。
take it, our deal will go down the
这么开心
drain. You wouldn't be that heartless, would you? I will
不愿意，
gladly accept
谢
it.
谢。
Thank you. That's more
这
like
样差不
it.
多。虽然现
I
在
hate
气
to
氛很好，
spoil the joyous
但我过去还是
atmosphere,
问一下，
but
为什么灯
why is that
现在反而
lantern
成了
the
不敢
one
靠近我们
hesitant
的
to
人？
approach us now? Not long ago.
所以，
So,
每当提
whenever
起这
this
桩
old
旧
story
事，
is mentioned,
我也不
I
免
can't
要对利
help
托
but
斯特
feel
流
a
露
bit
出
envious of Little's myself.
些许艳羡。归根结底，
In
他
the
以一
end,
种与自
she
身死
died in
亡
a
观
way
相应
that
的方式死
corresponded
去
to。his view of death, an honor
没
few
有多
people
少
get
人
to
能做到这一
enjoy.
点。
When the girl regained her senses, the man's voice seemed to be coming from a distant place. So much so that when he started winding down his speech, she realized she had completely missed the preamble.
就是
The old story. She savored the words and contemplated hard, but failed to discern their real meaning. But that was only natural. Over the past century, this was hardly unusual. With an obstinacy she couldn't control, she always tried to think of every potentiality. What haven't I done? What haven't I done well? What can I still do? Having been caught up in such an all-consuming current for so long, she no longer had the mental capacity to think about others.
能麻烦你再重复一次吗？
Could you please repeat that?
刚才我
What
们
were
在
we
聊什么来
talking
着？
about just now?
沙杰塔曾向我提起过的一
It's
个
a
断
forge
层大师，
master that Gita once mentioned to me.
与彼时的安和，
Back then in
还
a
誉满天
terrace,
下。
she was renowned throughout the
即便
land.
只是一炉
In
凡
her
铁，
hands,
经他
even
指
an
使，也
ordinary
能就
piece
此
of
暴露
iron
光芒。
was positively radiant with potential and could become a famous sword
就阿杰塔的
renowned
性质
for
而言，
ages.
他们
Given
也当然和
Ajita's
走得相
interest,
当密切。
they would naturally have been quite close.
所以呢？
So,
所以，
so
阿杰塔
Ajita
开始有
began to
机会注意到
notice
一些
the commonality of
穷人的东西。
mediocrity.
无论是出于什么
Regardless
目
of the
的，
purpose, when
人们
people
在握
hold
住
a
那些
sword
剑，
and feel their
感
pulse,
受到他们作为武器的脉
there's
搏，
always an
才
involuntary
会显得有
aspect
些
to
不由
it.
自主。即便生性
Even
温良，
if they are gentle at
他们
heart,
下意识要
they
去做的事，
subconsciously want to wield the
也是尝
sword,
试挥舞手段
whether
的
it's
利
slashing
剑。
something or casually
无论是皮
thrusting.
开朗，又或随性刺激，如同正用绳索
Like
牵着一只
leading a
太过
strong
强壮
hunting
的猎
dog with a
犬，
rope, everyone is dragged by the overpowering energy in a direction they may not have wanted to go in initially. Are you referring to the lantern organization in the past, or us who are taking advantage of the 10 faces of
或许
misery?
两者皆有，
Perhaps both,
也或许
or maybe
我只是想借
I'm
机
just
怪罪
using
虎
this
国界大恐
opportunity
慌尚未
to
爆
blame
发
the
时，
past me who encountered the zodiac
那个
astral
初次
ring
接
for
触
the
黄
first
道
time
线之后
before the
自己
Amber Street Great Panic erupted.
提起这个，
Speaking of
既
which,
然你确信
if you're so
狼丘的异
convinced
状源自
that
那
the
9万来这
anomalies
些
in
大型之
Langqiu
馆，
are originating from the astral ring carried by those outsiders,
又为什么仅仅让他们一走
why
了
did you
之？
let them go?
不像是你过去的作风。
That's not your style. Even if it was unintentional, I should not have turned down the true astral ring merely for the desire of wanting to mind my own business. Lantern, perhaps this sounds presumptuous coming from me, but do you still find me worthy of being a sage?
我仍然能称得上一位智者吗？
I can't say for sure, but in terms of being self-opinionated, you're no different from the other sages I've encountered. Although I'm really in no place to criticize. Self-opinionated, indeed. I'm not the type of person who takes risks. Yet, that is precisely what I'm doing at this moment. Perhaps it is because I understand myself well, and I trust myself too much. Whatever it is. Can't you change the way you talk to people?
就不能改改自己和别人交谈的方式吗？
Clearly, this woman who always valued efficiency had no intention of trying to read between the lines in search of a deeper meaning.
没其他事的话，
If there's nothing else, I'll be on my way.
之前在那些外
I've
来之
wasted
身
too
上
much
花费
time
了太
on
多
those
时间，
outsiders. I need to find out what's really going on with Vegeta.
还得去查个清楚。
Although the man wanted to tell her this seemed unnecessary, he ultimately didn't. All they could do now was wait, and her next words were quite easy to predict.
总要有人去做些
Someone
事，
has to do something.
何况
Besides, someone has to go and retrieve that defector. Defector? I'm not in favor of that saying.
对于
Though
老旧，
Nigui might be more nostalgic for Langqiu than you and I.
不过，
But since all
既
we
然
can
此刻
do
我们
now
能
is
做的没有
wait,
等待，
here's hoping that you
也
find
只能
something
盼望有所
worthwhile.
收获。
Okay, see you later.
星之环的力量，
The astral
又开始
ring's
自动主
power
动的作动
is
了。
activating on its own again.
这么愚蠢，该做点什么了。敌人还没有出现。逃跑而剑，到此结束。事不宜迟。该做点什么了。敌人还没有出现。就让这道光烧尽一切。该做点什么了。这里的裂隙还没有收
The
束起来
rift
吗？
here hasn't closed yet.
看来他也才刚刚
Looks
通过
like
这
it
里。
just passed through here. Strange. How did Lantern actually stay here?
当时灯究竟在这待了多久？怎么除了那些怪物，
Why does
就
her
它
scent
的味道也
linger
这么
like
散
those
掉？
monsters?
难不成
Could it be that she's coming back for something? She must have.
你好啊，
Hi there. Lantern.
怎么？
You didn't show any
说之前没有露
signs.
出什么迹象。
Yeah, you're bailing out of the
但在仪
ritual
式
at the
开始
last
之前，
minute.
你还是准备临阵脱逃吗？
这
You've got me all wrong.
和利托斯特那回
Unlike the time
我
with
现在没什么
Toast,
生命危
I'm
险，
not
有什
in
么
real
好临阵
danger
脱逃
now,
的？
so I'm not
我
flaking
只
on this.
是
I just. Hold
等
on.
会儿，
I'm not sealed
我
by
现在可没
perception
被
right
决放
now.
入啊，有什么好
So
怕
what
的
is there to be afraid of?
跟你又有什么关系？
What's it to you anyway?
今时不同往
Times
日，
have
现
changed,
在的我可
and the
是
current me is. Wait
在这
there.
等着。今时不同往日，
Times have changed.
然后呢？
And then what? Donigui had regained its connection to the pool of shadows. However, until it witnessed the girl destroying the object in front of her once again, it, who had once thought itself unparalleled, couldn't help but wonder. Was it really any different from those monsters when facing a composed lantern?
今时不同往日
Times，have changed.
我对灯节的
My
敬
respect
意
for
也
you
越
has
发深
deepened
沉
even
了。
more.
您这是来这边公
So
干？
you're
有
here
什
on
么事
official
嘱咐
business?
我一声不就行
You
了
could？ just tell me what you need.
我想再调查一下阿杰塔。
I want to investigate Ajita a bit more. Finding you was just a
这么
byproduct
说
of
来，
that.
你
In
倒是
that
可以给我一
case,
些结论。
I assume you've reached some conclusions.
结论？
Conclusions?
关于阿
Yes,
杰塔，
about Ajita.
啊，妥妥的没救
Oh,
了，
she's
早
beyond
就成了一
saving.
具尸体。
She's been dead for a while now.
是谁都看得出来。
Anyone can tell.
你知道他是怎么
Do
死
you
的？
know how she died?
那我可没注意，
I didn't pay
压根儿就不
attention.
想来这儿，是利
I
托
didn't
斯
want
特
to
让
come
我，
here in the first place. Litos made me.
是利托斯特的力
It
量把
was
我引来
Litos'
的。
power that brought me here.
隐谈吗？
The pool of shadows.
当然，
Of
灯姐
course,
刚才解
the
决的那些
monsters you
比
just
起数
dealt
据之
with
海的造
are
物，
closer to
彰显
us
咱们的
than
老乡。
creations of the Sea of Data.
这家伙的意思是，
Does it mean
异常与来自
the
隐谈的力
anomaly
量
has
有关
something to do
但又
with
与
the
他
pool
自
of
己有
shadows
关？
power, but is not related to itself?
再确认一下现场吧。
I need to double check the
多尼
area.
戈尔看起来
Donigui doesn't seem
不怎么老
trustworthy.
实。无论如何，
Anyway,
阿杰塔，
Ajita, of
他
all
根本
of
不像是我
us,
们当中会
she
最先
never
死去
seemed
的那
like
个
the
人，
one who would die
利
first,
托斯特除外。
except for Litos. The girl gently pushed aside the collar of the deceased.
的确没有任何伤
No
痕，
visible wounds,
没有
no
中毒
signs
或
of
窒息的
poisoning
迹
or
象，
suffocation, no
也没有离恶
traces
石
of the
像破碎的
time-faced
痕迹。
misery haunting her.
果然，
I knew it.
你们还有
There's
完没
no
完？
end to these guys.
虽然微乎其微，
They're
但的
stronger
确
than
比之前略微
before,
强大了一些。
even if only
这个怪咖
slightly.
有
Could
可能
they
是
be
阿
the
杰塔留
guards
下的
left
守卫
behind by Ajita?
时间到，
对付他们
There are
轻而易
things to
举，
deal with.
我自己也
I
能
can
行。
handle it myself,
但我不想浪费那么
but
多
I
时
don't want to
间。
waste so much time.
我从白吉那里听说过你
I
的
heard
事，
about you from Bai Ji. Are you
你
sure
确
the
定刚
power
才的
just
力量
now
来自
came
于
from
他
the
们？
pool of shadows?
那当然，
Of
自己的东西
course.
被人偷了还能不
I
知道？
would
否则
know
我来这儿
if
干什么？
someone stole my stuff, wouldn't I?
那样最好。
That's for the best.
走吧，
Let's go.
跟我去见见
Come
绝，
with me to meet Perception.
带着失主更有说服力。
It'll be more convincing with its owner in tow.
你不是正在调查
Aren't you
是谁在擅自
investigating
使用
who's
隐谈的力量？
exploiting the power of the pool of shadows?
这是
That
在查
I
不假。
am.
不过，邓
The
姐你也知道，
lantern, you
我
know?
爱好和平。
I'm all about peace.
你该不会是带我去树敌
You're
吧
not？ bringing me along to make enemies, are you?
树敌？
Enemies.
那有什么关系吗？
What about that?
我还以为你要说不是
I。thought you were gonna say the opposite.
现在还说不好，
Can't say for sure
说不准
now.
只是见见熟人而已。
Maybe it's just seeing an acquaintance.
不可能第一个死去
The
的
one
人
who should never be the first to
受
die.
到保护的
And
遗
the
憾。
protected remains.
走吧，
Let's go.
或许
Maybe
长久以来，
Perception has actually
所
been
谓
a
的
Ch3-Ph1 this entire
其
time.
实就是阿杰他本人。
什么？
What is it?
你应该也听说过他的事，
You've heard about her, right?
那个
The
利用
plan
诸
which
多法器
requires
才
all
能完
sorts
成
of
的计划，
artifacts to complete.
但
Maybe it's just a
那也
joke
可
to
能只是他
her.
的一个玩笑。
For her, the notion of
既有的意义，
Gadget could simply
或许
be
不过用
using
气而已。
tools.
等会儿，
Hold
刚才
up.
你是什么意思？
What did you mean earlier?
压根儿就是
Are
阿
you
杰塔。
saying that Perception is a J-Ta after
他
all?
只是个猜测，
It's just a
到了目
hunch.
的地再说吧。
We'll see when we get there.
走啦走
Come on, let's go.
过街能逛的
Plenty
地儿还
more
多
to
着呢。
explore.
啊，
You might have had a point if we hadn't passed this place by 6 times already.
你的话或许还有点说服力。
他们果然
Looks like they're still here. Then
别过去，
don't go there.
我们不是要找人吗？
We're
找他
looking
们
for
打听打
someone,
听。
right? Let's ask them.
我说了，
I said,
别过
don't go
去。
there.
这种时候不要打扰他。
Now's not the time to disturb her.
有什么打扰啊？
I'm not
只不过是
disturbing her, it's just
哦，倒也
I guess
是。
simply appearing in front of her
只
is
是出
enough
现在
to
他
ruin
面
her
前，我们就
day.
够败的兴致了。那
So, Lantern, is your decision the
你
same
的
as
决定
100
还和
years
100年
ago
前一样吗？关于
about that person's
那个
life
人的
and
生死。
death? I hate to
虽然
spoil
现
the
在气氛
joyous
很好，
atmosphere,
但我姑且还是
but
问一下，为什么
why is
灯
that
现在反而
lantern
成了不
the
敢靠
one
近我们的
hesitant to
人？
approach us now?
对他
I
来
guess
说，
we're still
我
unwelcome
们现
guests
在
to
仍然是不受
her.
欢迎的客
She
人吧，
may even view us as
甚至
old threats that's
称不
emerged
上去而
new.
复返的危险。如果是那样，
If that were the
按照
case,
之前的经
based
验
on
来
our
看，
past
现
experience,
在我们应该
we
正
would
被
be
枪指
staring
着才
down
对
a barrel of a gun right now.
看来在我们
Things
离
sure
开的
have
这段时
changed
间
while
里，
we were away.
事情的确有了新的变化。苏去，啊，嗨，
Well, it's been a bit troublesome, but Master has already stepped up, so this whole thing will blow over
这
eventually.
也犯不上再难为
Lantern
咱
won't
们。
bother us anymore.
大家伙
Everyone
都和咱
here
一样
is
好
just
客
as welcoming
要
as
不
I
是得先
am.
忙着，
They're
一
just
会儿
too
亲自来
busy.
招待各位呢。我反
I
而觉得
actually
你招
think
待的
you've
太
been a
多
bit
了。
too hospitable.
不过，
Anyway, where are we
接下来我们
heading
要去哪
next?
儿？不是有
There
廊
are
丘石乐
10
吗？
joys of
按你的计
Langqiu.
划，
Your
这应该
plan
也才
sure
刚
has
开始。
just begun. Yohong better get yourself prepared.
今儿个的行程
Today's itinerary has been refined over the past 100 years. I guarantee you'll see the every nook and cranny of Amber Street.
再来第二遭。
You mean a rescue
抢救性考古
excavation?
发掘是，
It feels more like we're sightseeing in a foreign
我们
land.
还是更像在
At
领
least
略
in
异
front
国
of
他乡
Zhongque,
风物吧。
I don't feel
至少在300
advantageous
年
as a
前
future
并没有
person.
什么未来人的优势。啊，等
I'm gonna start feeling self-conscious. How about we go eat some snacks and take a breather? This place next to us is a time-honored establishment. I still haven't gotten tired of it. Could it be? I don't really mind. I guess some people have been waiting for this moment. Though she was teasing the red-haired girl on purpose, things were different with Sanadina. Unlike the overly energetic Songque, Sanadina seemed a bit rigid today. Of course, considering how busy they had been previously, this level of fatigue was understandable, even if it was noticeable. Looks like everyone is going with the flow. Alright then. Come over here, this way.
团队建设可是很重要的工作，所以今天吃火锅还是烤肉，还是说全都要？会遇到什么有趣的事呢？
Ah, this quantum mechanics book. I'm gonna have to teach myself.
出发了。
May you spend every wonderful morning, afternoon, and evening here. Sorry, it doesn't mean we're open 24 hours. Could you recommend me some desserts from here? Please, you've got to try the new dish at Ch3-Ph1-Pt4, our eternal love cake. It's my masterpiece. What exactly is it, you ask? It's a mousse cake with wild berries. Looking forward to your next visit. Ancient History of the Phoenix Continent, Part 4, Era of the Near Ancients. Empire of Taiyi, year 1671 of the Old Calendar to year 1759 of the Old Calendar. This empire can be traced back to an extraterrestrial power in the Phoenix Continent, yet its significance in the historical trajectory of the Phoenix Continent rivals that of the Jin Empire of classical times. In the year 1671 of the Old Calendar, on the Tarsus Highland in the north, the empire was established by Prince Lotte of Arcadia, a descendant of the Phoenix Continent. Over the next 40 years, through the expansion efforts of 3 successive monarchs, they successively vanquished empires, reunifying the Phoenix Continent after nearly 200 years. They also brought vast lands of Olympus, Lune, and Elysium under their rule, creating the largest empire in history at the twilight of the Arcadian Age. The Arcadian-based Taiyi Empire had far-reaching effects on the material culture of the Phoenix Continent. The empire's innovative governance system forced a reshuffle among the intellectual class, objectively providing opportunities for the prosperity of the artist class. The systems of traditional opera and novels in the Phoenix Continent took shape during this period. Additionally, the Taiyi Empire was also the world's earliest regime to establish a currency system centered around paper money. Yet, this forward-thinking financial system also gave rise to economic disaster in the empire's later years. Empire of Xihe, year 1759 of the Old Calendar to year 1908 of the Old Calendar. This empire emerged after the economic disasters of the 1750s led to the overthrow of the Taiyi Empire by popular uprising. Although the new empire no longer had the Akkadian background, it was still influenced by many aspects of the Taiyi Empire. As an example, the new empire's name was not derived from the traditional constellations of the Phoenix Continent, but instead took inspiration from mythological concepts similar to its predecessor. For the Phoenix Continent, The reign of the Ch3 Empire marked a period of silent transition in social and cultural spheres. Following the ferment of the previous era, the entertainment industry flourished during this period. Extravagance and indulgence were no longer the exclusive domain of the upper class, and forms of entertainment such as opera and drinking began to spread widely among the middle and lower classes. Influenced by this trend, Phoenix continent society and culture entered an unprecedented era of diversity. Various professions began to construct historical narratives from their own perspectives, associating historical figures as industry ancestors. Numerous commoner families began to compile genealogies, making it increasingly difficult to distinguish one's status based solely on lineage. People began to believe that financial wealth can challenge all forms of inequality. It can be said that in the later period of the Ch3 Empire, the Phoenix continent had already seen the emergence of modern society. Thus, people habitually defined the Ch3 Empire as the epilogue of ancient Phoenix continent history. The subsequent empire that replaced it, the Wangshu Empire, year 1908 of the Old Calendar to year 2054 of Old Calendar, was more akin to a modern industrial nation, no longer within the scope of discussion in this context. Conclusion. One of the primary cradles of world civilization, the uninterrupted history of the Phoenix continent until the year 2185 of the Old Calendar. Editor's note, the year of the Great Eruption, has been the source of its immense influence. From primitive settlers by the Great Lake to world-class cities surrounded by verdant landscapes, this civilization has never ceased or completely lost its essence. It invented calendars, paper, compasses, gunpowder, and printing, led to the birth of agriculture, and participated in industrial revolutions. Even a planetary-scale disaster like the Great Eruption was not enough to end this ancient civilization. Our hometown, the city of Oxia, is precisely the inheritor of the Phoenix continent civilization to this day. What's wrong with you? Oh, sorry. I meant, did you take your meds? Oops, that's not right either. Please forgive me. Welcome to Thousand Herb Apothecary. How may I help you? Get me some medicine. Hey, youngster, I'm not finished yet. Wait for your turn at the back of the line. Alright, sorry for the bother. Miss, how many days do I need to take this Qingfeng powder? 3 doses at once, 3 times a day, for 3 days. 3 days? That's way too long. Isn't there anything that works faster? There's a half break in the corner. Apply externally on your forehead, and you're good to go. Excuse me, are you here to pick up your medicine too? No, I think I'll pass. Alright, have a good day then.